To my right, I have Mr. Jacek Saryusz-Wolski, an MEP and chairman of the European Parliament's Committee on Foreign Affairs. Mr. Saryusz-Wolski is also the host of this evening's debates. I thank you for this. I'm very grateful. We have the pleasure to have with us Mr. Alexander Krestiyanov, who is the Russian Deputy Ambassador to the European Union. Welcome, Mr. Krestiyanov. Mr. Volkan Bozkir, who is the Turkish Ambassador to the European Union. Welcome. And Mr. Fabrizio Barbasso, who is the European Commission's Deputy Director General for Energy and Transport, in charge, among others, of security of energy supply.
First, the European Union should speak with one voice. So, European Union vis-à-vis supply and transit countries should act as a single entity.
The challenge today is to guarantee affordable and uninterrupted flow of hydrocarbon resources from the Caspian region to the Middle East to energy-consuming markets. Located at the crossroads of around 70% of the world's proven oil and natural gas resources, Turkey constitutes a natural bridge in relation to both the east-west and the north-south energy corridors.
No single country can ensure alone its energy security. That's why we believe at the EU level that we have to address the energy security challenge within the European Union dimension. We have a big market, we have the right size to address this, we have developed technologies, and we have a tradition of international cooperation, which allow us to set up a number of agreements, contacts, partnerships, memoranda with third countries.
I mean, the general objective should be to treat energy as commodity, not as an instrument of political pressure or whatever. So let me recall, because I just wanted to compliment the Director General's position, that in the mandate by the Council to the Commission to negotiate the PCA, it says the principles of Energy Charter should be included in the new PCA. And you know how the discussion in the Council was around this. I mean, the tendency was to have as much as possible. So if you ask the question, what should we change, I say as little as possible.
I wouldn't say that Energy Charter Treaty is 100% bad. I would say even that for 95% Energy Charter is good. But the January crisis proved us that this treaty couldn't help us to solve this crisis. And that means that there are some problems with this treaty, inherent to this treaty, and these problems should be resolved. And the proposals of Russian President Mr. Medvedev are aimed to solve these problems, to make the treaty, new treaty, automatically applied to not only in times of crisis, but in times of peace.
Rightly or wrongly, it was my impression that the Europeans were reaching out, of course looking the other direction, across the Mediterranean to deal directly with Nigeria and Algeria. We also have the energy, we have the gas, we have the oil to sell. Are we going to wait until when there is a third crisis before we are approached formally as to how to go about it?
Why are we not looking across the Mediterranean? Who wants to answer? Mr. Saryusz-Wolski.
I just want to say that in our report we mentioned then Trans-Saharan and Nigeria as one of the resources, as much as, if political conditions permit, the Libyan. So we should take from all possible directions in order to be the least dependent. If tomorrow everybody will be bound by those market principles and third-party access, we can buy 100% from one supplier. I don't think it is reasonable. It is rational to expect that. I don't think that it is rational to expect that those who have quasi-monopolistic or oligopolistic, whatever position in supplying and in transit terms, that they will not use their power as long as the conditions, the environment will not be competitive.
Europe needs gas. Russia has this gas. Europe wants to buy gas. Russia wants to sell gas. So Europe, take that gas.
Now, ideally, as many other sectors, to go for an overall agreement, including suppliers, consumers, and transit countries, appears as the best solution on paper. But is it exactly? This is the question. Is it feasible? Is it available in the short term, or do we take too long before reaching a useful outcome? So that's why sometimes we have to turn into solutions which look more workable, like bilateral agreements.
I like to think, and focuses my mind, about what I call the cold scenario. That's 2 years when it's cold in Russia, very cold, historically cold, and very cold in Europe. Do your sums on that and figure out what it means. Perhaps it's only a matter of time. My general encouragement then is let's have the broad sweeping discussions, but at the same time, and in a sense even faster, let's translate the political debate into the practicalities for practitioners like Shell and many other folk in the European market to deal with the relationship between the very short run, some people are trading on the half hour, on the hour, to the very long run, where projects take, as we've discussed, 20, 30 years to put together and cost what? For big projects these days, 10, 20, 30, $40 billion apiece. That's all I wanted to say. Thank you very much indeed.